Okay, hi, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to another episode of A Math with Thinker's Cap. Okay, my name is Mr. Tam. Okay, in today's lesson, we're going to discuss how to solve a trigonometric equation involving compound angles, right? Compound angles meaning I have two angles, right, within a trigonometry function. Right, this topic is usually taught in A Math Sec 3. Right, and students will find that they have got to deal with a compound angle when solving a trigonometric question. Right, let's take a look at this example to see, right, how we can apply the rules of trigonometry to solve such an equation, right? And our objective in this case is to find x. Right, let's take a look at this question here. Right, I have sine half x plus 70 degrees, right, is equals to minus sine 120 degrees. Right, and in this case, my x is an angle that is between 0 and 360. All right, so this is very important to write down the domain of the equation, because we have got to keep in mind, right, that the domain is the definition for the range of values of x. But since we are solving a compound angle where my x has been transformed, right, into half x plus 70. Okay, so in this case, we have got to change the domain, right, before we solve this problem, right? So in this case, my half x will be between 0 degrees and 180 degrees, and my half x plus 70 degrees will be between 70 degrees and 250 degrees, right? Okay, this domain is important in determining where the angle will be located, right, when we are solving the problem later. Okay, so let's take a look at this equation here. I have minus sine 120. So in this case, I can express this in terms of a value, right? So I've got sine half x plus 70 degrees will be equals to minus root 3 over 2, right? This is a special angle, right? You can actually press a calculator to find out what is the value, right? And it's actually root 3 over 2, all right? So now we're going to find out what is the basic angle of this equation, right? So when we're going to find the basic angle, right, we're going to ignore the negative sign first. We have a negative root 3 over 2. Right, so we're going to ignore the negative sign because I'm interested in finding what is the basic angle, which is an acute angle. And then from there, we'll decide, okay, which quadrant does it fall under, right? So in this case, we ignore the negative sign, right? Sine inverse root 3 over 2 will give us 60 degrees, all right? Okay, so my basic angle is 60 degrees. And since the sine of this angle is negative, I know that my angle must be between in the third quadrant or the fourth quadrant. Alright, so third or fourth will have sine being negative. Alright, so my half x plus 70 degrees, right? Okay, my first angle, right? Notice that I have my angle is between 70 to 250, all right? So my first angle will be 180 degrees plus 60 degrees, all right? Okay, some may think that this angle is included, but let's consider this angle here. 360 degrees minus 60 degrees over here, which is 300 degrees. Okay, this will give me 240 degrees. Okay, if you look at the range or the domain of this angle, it is between 70 and 250. And clearly, this is out of the domain. Alright, so we are not going to consider this. This is a rejected answer, right? Because it is outside the domain of the angle, right? So we only have one answer here, 240, right? So now we'll proceed to find out what is x, because that is our objective, right? Okay, so I have half x plus 70 degrees equals to 240 degrees half x equals to 240 minus 70 degrees, which gives me 170 degrees, right? And therefore x will be 2 times 170 degrees, which gives me 340 degrees, right? So in this case, you notice that my x 340 degrees now falls within the domain of 0 and 360, right? So one very important point to take note is when you're finding the basic angle, okay, ignore the negative sign, find out what is the basic angle first, which is an acute angle, and then you proceed to find out which quadrant does the angle lie within. And keeping in mind that when you're solving the equation, right, you have got to make sure that the angle lies within the domain, okay, of the compound angle. Alright, if you like this lesson and like to find out more about our classes, okay, click on the link below, okay, and find out how you can join the classes. And I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.